What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Marriage Talk with Martinez.
And Audrey.
Today, we're going to discuss to you about how important trust is in your marriage and why you should have it. So, let's get right to it.
Okay, so trust is one of those foundational pieces that's necessary in any relationship, but especially in a marriage.
Yeah.
You are becoming one with a person, you're building your life with this person. So I would hope you would trust them implicitly. So we want to break down 3 things that helped us to build trust in our relationship and in each other so that we could have a happy, healthy marriage. So the first thing about trust that we want to discuss is voices in your marriage.
Ooh.
And when people say that, it's like, what do you mean? So, babe, explain to the people what we mean when we say voices in your marriage.
Man, when you talk about voices outside of your marriage and everything, you talking about those voices that you two didn't ask to come in. You two, is not, incompatible with. It's anything outside the marriage. So it's from family members, friends, co-workers, social media. Anything that's not within you two, within your union, those are voices inside your marriage. Sometimes these voices right here can be a stumbling block to you.
It can be. So what happens is that a lot of people want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to hate. But everybody has an opinion on what they think you should do, how they think you should run things. Yeah. And the problem with that is that everybody has advice from a different lens or filter.
Yes.
And their lens or filter is not your marriage.
That's
it's
right.
what they've been through, what they think, what they feel, what they've seen on TV, what other people have said. Nobody knows what's between the two of you, so nobody can tell you what you should do between the two of you. I feel like the only time there should be any third person in your marriage that is not God, it should be a counselor.
Yes.
And counselor. I would say a certified counselor. And personally, I would prefer somebody who is married and has a successful marriage.
Yes.
Because other people can give you that textbook advice, but giving you real life experience is a whole other level. And it helps in a way that you wouldn't even understand.
It does.
So other than that, voices, there should only be the husband, the wife, and God, because he is the one, God, who ordained marriage. So if you have a question about how should I go about this in my marriage, go to him. Ask him, what should we do about this? And learn to rely on each other's voices not other people.
That's right. And I think it's very important that the two do that, because that's another thing of trust and laying a foundation of trust and understanding that is if you listen to other outside voices, sometimes outside voices can be the foundation of breaking up your marriage.
It can.
You know what I mean? It can be the seed that's sown in your marriage that will cause y'all to drift apart. One sleeping in another room, one sleeping on a couch, like you two just sleeping in two different rooms in a house. And that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? When you're building up this trust and you building up this stage right here, you want to be able to work things out and keep the voices outside, until you two establish that commitment together.
Yeah, and a great example of that is the movie Not Easily Broken. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
In that relationship, there was the husband, the wife, and then the wife's mother. And she was a bitter woman. And the advice she gave her daughter came from a broken and hurt place. It came from a negative perspective.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that every piece of advice comes from that broken place, but it comes from somewhere outside of what's in between the two of you.
That's right.
So that, and it's not right for you. So, and it's okay to hear advice, but you can't let that be a voice or a determining factor in your marriage. You have to learn to rely on each other in that marriage.
That's right. You're right.
Now, with that comes honesty, which is the second thing we want to talk about.
Yes.
So now you have laid the foundation of blocking out everybody else. Now let's sit and have an honest conversation with each other.
Yes.
You know?
I think honesty is very important. Honesty is one of them things, another layer, like she said, of trust, of being honest, being open, whether it's the to the biggest, to the smallest, to the greatest, at the least. It doesn't even matter. You have to be honest with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, trust me, you're gonna have everything coming out the closet at the wrong times. It's gonna come out from the friends, families, events, within each other, in front of your kids. It's gonna come out, and it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna look right at all. It's gonna be very ugly. And you guys gonna have to figure out where this stuff come from. So honesty is one of the things that you do have to learn how to establish.
Yeah, and that honesty means it's not just like cheating or anything like
No,
that, but
no.
being honest about who you are as a person.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm very, very traditional. My husband is not as traditional as I am. I had a problem for a while being honest with him about the fact that, hey, I'm like a happy homemaker. I'm not that type of girl that likes X, Y, and Z. And he was like, oh, yeah, because, you know what I'm saying, I want my wife to be hustler, go get her out there like that. And I'm like, I just want to sew and cook and work my garden. And so and I was afraid to tell him that of what he would think of me or how he would view me, because in the world today, you have to be like this boss chick, or you have to be this, that, and the third. And he was like, well, be a boss at gardening. Be a boss at that. Show other people how to garden. Show other people how to grow their gardens.
Yeah.
Come out with a gardening book. You like cooking? Be a boss at cooking. Come out with a cookbook, a cooking channel, whatever. Whatever you love to do, you can still be a boss. Don't look at yourself differently. And so, but I had to be honest with him about who I was, what I wanted, and he had to do the same with me so that we could build a life together. Because if I kept holding back who I was, then our marriage would not have been real.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been just this facade of what it could be.
Yeah.
And so that means just being honest about, like he said, every little thing, even down to the fact that, hey, I don't like the color green. So can we not, just be honest about things. But with being honest comes that third part that we talked about, which is being vulnerable. So being vulnerable is a really, really big thing. I think men experience this really hard.
I think we as men, being vulnerable, we tend to shield ourselves. We tend to, keep within, so like we got it under control. You know what I'm saying? like we don't need no help. You know what I'm saying? Our wives doing things, we gonna go out and take on the world. We have it all together. But that's not true. That's not true at all. We men need a shoulder to cry on. We need somebody to come home and hear us, where we can vent to, you know what I'm saying, so she can understand where we come from, so she can see our heart, you know what I mean, see that, oh, we not just this tough guy. Yeah, we got our moments of toughness, but we also got our moments of weaknesses too, you know what I'm saying, and that's why we need our wives there by our side to help us, to strengthen us, to encourage us, to lift us up and put us back together, so we can go back out there and do what we need to do.
Absolutely. And I feel like that does go for women as well, because especially nowadays, like I said, going back to that, you have to be a boss chick, you have to be strong, you can't let this man run over your life. And it's like, okay, so then you start to keep things close to the vest. Oh, you don't need to know that that's my personal business. This is me. I'm independent.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as being independent in a marriage, but we'll talk about that another day. But you have to be open and vulnerable and say, listen, here's my heart. Going back to myself, I had to say, baby, here's my heart. Here's who I am. This is what I love. Yeah. I know the world says I'm supposed to be X, Y, and Z, but I just want to love you. I just want to love our kids. I want to make a life out of the things that I love to do. Is that okay with you? And he took my feelings and he looked at me and said, babe, you don't have to be afraid to tell me that.
All right.
I was able to just pour my heart and say, this is what I like, what I don't like. This is the person that I am.
Yeah.
Here's everything of me. And he said, okay, I'll protect it.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. I'll love it. Yeah. And I hope that I do the same for him. And so it's about being able to just lay it all bare.
Yeah.
And that other person say, it's still beautiful.
It is.
It's still a good thing. And I'm going to love you regardless.
It is. And even with myself, I grew up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in a tough neighborhood, you know what I mean, where, it's not easy to open yourself up and be vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? Because people call you weak, call you soft, You know, they say, oh, you too sensitive. You know, things like that. So we men learn how to hide it, shield it, you know, or it be a numb thing where we don't feel it or give any attention to it. But we have to learn that in the marriage, because in the marriage, it's not just you no more. It's not just you no more. It's us coming together as one. You know what I'm saying? Let the two become one flesh. So it's us coming together, working things out, the kinks, bringing all the skeletons out the closet, you know what I mean? So we can have a good, perfect, and successful marriage. And I feel like that was one of the things that I worked on, and I had to work on it so I can remain faithful, so I can remain honest, I can remain vulnerable to my wife, you know, so she can see my heart at all times.
Yeah. And I think you just said a lot right there when you said, you know, being able to just be so open that there's nothing you can't tell me. There's nothing we can't talk about. There's nothing that we can't work out together.
Yes.
And so right there, we're just going to kind of leave you with those 3 things.
Yeah.
Chew on that, marinate on that, let it sizzle in your spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do that, because when we come back for the next episode, we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper into that. We're going to dig deeper into that trust, because trust goes a million different directions in the marriage. It's that main thing. So we're going to leave it with this. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions or concerns about what we've talked about, leave a comment in that comment section below. Hit us up on Instagram at The Official Marriage Talk. We want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. And if what we're doing helps you, we want to know. So we're going to leave you with that, and we'll say bye for now.
See ya.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video.
If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, hit us up on Instagram at The Official Marriage Talk, or email us at marriagetalk.am@gmail.com. Until next time, see you later.